I'm really not loving that it is 6 something in the morning and it's already 70 degrees. But today I have to redo all the chicken feed. They're almost out in all their little containers, so I'll be doing that today. I actually forgot that I had a half a bag left that I had already mixed up. I put chili flakes, oregano, parsley, all kinds of different herbs in it as well. I just think overall it's good for them. The chili flakes, I heard, the spiciness doesn't affect birds. They don't taste it. It doesn't mess with them. But I heard that it might help deter pests. So that's mostly why I do it. I'm not sure if there's a health benefit to it. Some people think that it helps with parasites. I'm not one of them. I don't believe that's a solution. But I don't want rats or mice or whatever in my food. So anything I can do to help deter it, I don't think that's gonna, make them never come. But any deterrent that I can use, I try. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill these up. Okay, let's go let him out. Hello, babies. Hello, babies. Please don't bite me. So I keep this hen and her little baby that she had to have locked up because it's too little for out here. So I'm going to have this one get a little bit bigger and then I'll swap it out with the other chick that I put in that little coop with her mama for the day. So she'll get to come out more and then this one will have a little bit more room. But this little baby will get eaten by a hawk or the other chickens will pick at it. She does not like me. Maybe some fresh water. No, stop biting me. This is the other baby who will come out of that cage and get to free range with mama. She's pretty good though. She keeps it close to the run. But still, I had one that was a little bit bigger than this that got eaten by a hawk, so it makes me nervous. Yesterday it was 105 here, so I make sure every morning that the chickens have fresh water or plenty of water, and then I also will put either some poultry cell or electrolytes in their water. I keep the poultry cell in here because the goats can't get to it, and then I have fresh water out there. And I also fill up boot trays with water because chickens cool off through their feet. So I'll show you later. I'll go out there and they're all just standing in these boot trays with water. I clean them in the morning because they also poop in them. It's gross. And then also I have misters in the coop and alongside the fence where they like to hang out. So I turn those on several times a day during the hottest part of the day, and I only let them run for like 20 minutes at a time, and then I turn them off. Yep. So we are going to freshen up the boot trays. Most of the day this area gets shade and the chickens like to hang out here. And you can see over here, this is their misting system. It goes all the way down the fence line. And then I put their boot trays in fresh water here. They love this spot. So I just like to freshen that up in the morning. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I don't remember that. My other topic. So, maybe it's not outside of anything. I'm going to take a quick trip to the garden because I put these cards inside. You can hear, first of all, the guinea fowl. But we have a fan that we put in the window here to bring the cool air in from outside. And most importantly, we have an exhaust fan on the side that helps blow the hot air out. And then it's really hot, two little fans that I can charge the in the outside air to help. But they're around there. So yeah, they do look nice, but they're Seth noticed last night that we had this tarp up here and the goats like to jump on it, but it's loosened up 3 of these posts. So the tarp is down for right now, and then we have to reinforce these posts, which I didn't think it was possible to loosen those. But he said maybe it's like a tooth. If you wiggle it enough, it comes out. It's not that one. It's this one and that one, but this one's the worst. So I'm gonna leave this out here because they like to play on it and they can kind of get under it a little bit. But yeah, we won't be putting it up until that's fixed. They really think they're doing something being on that tarp. Mm-hmm. Poor Bobby. Bluey always, this is what happened to our fence. See? This is your brat. He's like, we need to tear it all down, all of it. How do I get to this one too? Maybe I'll just eat it. Oh, I'll just rub his horns on it. That's his now. There. So now that the animals are taken care of for the most part, I still check on them like 20 times a day. Anytime I get a free moment, especially when it's hot. You know, I need to make sure that everybody's doing okay. Water hasn't spilled and they're not without water or whatever. But now that they're taken care of for the morning, I'm going to prep our meat for the day. We finished our egg fast and now we're moving on to strictly protein for what's supposed to be 30 days, but then we kind of like fell into this all you can eat spaghetti night on Mondays. So we're gonna go do that, and wound up being really fun. Like a lot of people showed up to the restaurant we were at, and the restaurant's gonna put spaghetti westerns on. So we're going to do this until Monday, and then, you know, we'll see if we do it next Monday. But in the meantime, we are doing only protein. And then after spaghetti night, I'm thinking maybe I will fast for a day. Because the whole point of doing high protein is to get your body into ketosis. And it can take, depending on you, 3 to 5 days, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, to get into ketosis where your body is using your fat as fuel. And then you start burning your fat. So if it takes you 3 to 5 days to get into ketosis, and then you have spaghetti one day, like an all you can eat spaghetti one day, then you're kind of just did high fat for no reason. You might be in ketosis for like a day or two, but to really get into a nutritional ketosis where you're burning your fat, for me, I am not a nutritionist. This is just my experience over the last couple of years. You know, it's hard for me to bounce back and forth. And then I get into this pattern of, well, if I'm going to eat this week, it doesn't matter what I eat this week because I'm going to have spaghetti on one day. I might as well just go eat whatever I want this whole week because I'm not going to be in ketosis. So I'm trying to rein that in a bit because it's a little chaotic. So I'm going to try to do the protein, and then for me, probably fast, maybe a 24-hour fast after spaghetti night. And I really like what fasting does for your body. It's supposed to help your cells repair themselves, and so it's not a big deal to me. Other people have their thoughts on fasting. I like it, but that's my plan. So that way I can be a little flexible here and there, and do something like spaghetti night and still like get back on plan. And also if you're working out, which we plan on starting Monday, we have a big swap meet this weekend. It's our favorite swap meet of the year. Our whole backyard is chaos because we've been pulling out all of our parts. It's the Model T swap meet in Long Beach. It's really early Ford, but we make good money there. More importantly, we meet really good people there. We love, love, love that swap meet. The people are just great. This year we're gonna actually bring a couple friends up with us, which is kind of cool because usually Seth is like doing the heavy lifting and stuff by himself. I help, of course, but for me, the quicker I help load the truck up, the faster we get to leave because it's super hot. But and usually we have a lot of sheet metal, but this year we don't have a lot of sheet metal, fenders and hoods and all kinds of stuff. So this year's a lot of smalls, which will be nice, but you know, still. And I kind of like the lifting and moving part in the sun. I feel like I'm burning calories, but it's crazy how something like that can like wipe you out for like 3 days. You know, you get up at 3 a.m. to be there by 5 for us, and then you have to set up, and then usually everyone starts leaving around 10, between 10 and 12. So you're packing up, and then you got to drive a couple hours back, and then you're wiped out. Then you have to unload all your stuff the next day, and doing that in like 100-degree heat, which I'm sure, oh, the oven's ready. You know, I'm sure it doesn't help. So it can take a couple days to recover from that. And if you've never done it before, then it's an experience. But so this morning I'm going to prep some chicken legs. I like to have chicken legs available, especially when it's hot, because we don't mind cold chicken legs. And then I can cook them up in the morning, and then we'll have like 2 days worth, or 3, whatever, a few days worth of chicken legs that we can just grab whenever you want something. Also, Goldie, my co-pilot's back here making disgusting noises. So again, if you hear a little monster, it's this one right here. She's 12. Yep, that's her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she's my co-pilot. You will see her waiting to clean up any mess that I make. Okay, so let's get started. When we are doing our high protein or carnivore, I say carnivore because I think carnivore is supposed to be steak and butter, but we just stick to proteins. I feel like steak is too heavy for me to eat every single day, but so we just stick to protein. So I will do chicken, I'll do tuna, I'll do eggs, a steak here and there, pork, whatever, as long as it's protein. We try not to throw a bunch of vegetables in it for a month. And then we work our way into cauliflower, spinach, tomatoes. Not a lot of tomatoes because there are sugars in there, cucumbers. So we'll get more, we'll have more freedom after our 30 days. And then of course we're mixing spaghetti night into it, so we don't really need that much freedom. But I don't do any sauces. Because, well, if you buy them from the store, you never really know what's in them. And most of them contain sugar, and it can trigger your brain to crave other things. So where you might just think, oh, here's this sauce, I'll have this one thing. But it might trigger you to start craving like chocolate or cookies or chips or whatever. So I made this salt out of all the herbs in our garden, and I'll be using that and pepper. And then olive oil. I like to use my olive oil in a spray bottle. I feel like I just have more control over it, and I'm not dumping like a ton of it on there. So I'm going to spray my bowl a little bit. And I already rinsed and patted dry these legs. I'll just do a few at a time. And then nice heavy dose. And just kind of, this is the gross part. Want to try and make sure you get the spices and the oil all over everything. I mean, chicken is so basic. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I could probably do one more. Yeah. This is our home. I'm not prepping for a restaurant or for other people, so. Doesn't have to be perfect. That one will be an extra spicy one. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in the oven for like 40 minutes. And then my assistant set a timer for 40 minutes. Will tell me when it's done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, now that there's a little less chicken in here, I'm gonna go ahead and prep. The bowl was just too full before, so I had 2 bowls. Go ahead and prep this. And then I'm gonna put it in the fridge so it doesn't sit out for 40 minutes. When it gets close, I'll have that tray ready, pop in, take that out. I'm holding my finger up because I don't want to get, I just put a new Band-Aid on it, but it's coming off. I vacuumed that gym the other day for 3 hours because everything gets so dirty out here. Our backyard's dirt, our front yard's dirt. Across the street they barrel race. So like you can dust one day and then by the end of the day it looks like you haven't cleaned for a month. So, and we haven't used the gym for a while. We just walk through it. But I was on my hands and knees vacuuming that thing for like 3 hours, dusting and vacuuming, and I got a blister from it. Vacuuming it, and then I scrubbed it with a little bowl of Dawn and a rag, and because that flooring in there it's really hard to clean. Like vacuuming doesn't just do it, and you can't just use a mop on it. Let me wash my hand real quick. Okay, this will go in the fridge. This will go in the sink. I don't need it anymore. A cleaner. I don't need this anymore. Okay, so for moving, well, let me change my Band-Aid. Okay, change my Band-Aid. So I am going to, I had several jars of these tomatoes that I was freeze drying, and I took 2 of the jars and I ground them up yesterday to make this powder, which in theory you can use as a tomato paste. This little thing vacuum seals the jars. You can use it as a paste or a sauce, like however much you want to use. You just add water to it and it'll thicken up. It'll reconstitute. It's a freeze drying word I have learned. I'm going to do the rest of them because I was waiting to do it because Seth likes to just eat them, but we can't right now. These little dry tabs you put in there to kind of help with any moisture. But since we're not going to eat any of this stuff for a month, I figured why not just grind it all up. And then I get my jars back. This is not the best place to do this. So let me move it over here. The cord on this is so short. Like, hey Vitamix, get a better cord. I really packed this one in there. The batch was done late at night and I was tired and I didn't want to leave it sit in the freeze dryer overnight. It's a lot of electricity for it to just run, so I just shoved it all in here. Oh, they smell so good. These were South's tomatoes. Bippity boppity. See if this works this way. I like to pulse it a little bit. There goes that whole big jar into nothing. Which is fine, because it'll come back. It'll come back to life. This jar has little tiny tomatoes in it too, little cherry tomatoes. A lot of skins. Oops. Then I use this fancy paper to help me funnel this stuff. Come on. Oh, if you could smell it, it smells amazing. All organic. How cute is this little thing? Oh, I need a little spoonful. So I have more tomatoes. I'm bringing my tomatoes in. I take them off the vine when they blush. They start to blush. So that means like when they go from green to any, for me, any other color, whether it's, you know, I don't know what happened. Oh, these. So this has like just a little bit of like a yellowy starting to orange. Take them off the vine. Yeah, these didn't have red on them when I put them in here, but it helps, keeps birds from taking your stuff, and you can get them before they rot or they split or whatever if you take them off the vine before they turn red. Like vine ripening sounds good, but I think I have not lost as many because I take them off before I don't let them sit on the vine and turn red. So every day I will be processing a few more for the freeze dryer. I can't run my freeze dryer. Well, I can. You should not run your freeze dryer when it is as hot as it is. And yesterday it got up to 105. And today it looks like it might do the same or worse. So I will be waiting for it to cool down. Some people have a dedicated little air conditioner unit for their freeze dryer. I won't be doing that. So I'm gonna put these dry tabs and like all these little tabs back in here. I don't even know that they do anything. I'm not sure what they do. But then this, you just pop on here and it will vacuum seal it. Thank you, paper.